What's going on, everyone? Happy Spider Week. You know from the title of the episode because you clicked on it what we're talking about tonight. It is tonight or to this morning. I don't, this is going to post at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So whenever you're watching us, you know we're talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Fellas, no pleasantries tonight. Let's just get into it. What'd you think?
It's a real movie. And I don't mean that, I mean that kind of in a derogatory
It's
way, but
disparaging towards John Watts. We get it.
it is. But, it was refreshing to see some actual thought put into not only the stunt coordination, but also just like who Peter Parker and Spider-Man are as people and characters, and not just kind of like, here's this guy in a spider suit, have fun with it. You know, I think it is the best of the four MCU Spider-Man movies, but I don't think it compares more favorably to the other Spider-Man movies that we have in our canon, but it is still I think it still falls short of the Raimi trilogy. And I think even the Spider-Verse movies. Third one TBD.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say the Spider-Verse ones are very good. Maybe the first one. Second one was just horrible. I really did not like that one. But yeah, I
I don't remember you saying that in our episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a few years since we
oh
did
sorry,
that.
Spider. Oh my God, Amazing Spider-Man in my head.
No, 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 no. No,
Oh,
no.
no, you're good.
Yeah, yeah, no,
I didn't
it's not
even
Spider-Verse.
mention. No, no, no. I didn't even
Sorry,
mention the
there's
Amazing.
too
Come on.
there's
Whoa.
too much. There's too many spiders. Too many
There's a
spiders.
lot of spiders out there right now. That is true.
Um, yeah. So yeah, I'd agree. Spider-Verse to me has some of the same issues that some of the Marvel ones have, which is that it just refuses to let him just be Peter Parker. This is probably the closest one you get. So you're just let him be Peter Parker and Spider-Man, grapple with that. But I still I think it's a great movie. And like Max said, it is a real movie with real movie beats instead of a traditional like formula. Um, I mean, it's whatever. It's like the previous Spider-Man movies are pretty good too. And
Yeah,
I think it's a very good Spider-Man, but still it refuses to just take a step back. We don't need a, crazy powerful telepath. I mean, give me a classic. Give me a classic Spider-Man villain. All right, we've got the Vulture so far. We've had
Mysterio.
yeah, Mysterio, and then we had old ones from the
Sandman
regular.
Electro. Let's speed run it
Yeah.
all.
Jean Grey, it's an interesting story. I don't, I'm, there's nothing wrong with the movie per se, but I don't like Marvel having to like inject. Oh, we're gonna start the mutants now. Remember the X-Men? And then they just throw Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie. You just stop throwing things that don't belong.
I
That's
did see that Dustin Daniel he requested Jean Grey. I think I saw that.
It was an ask, it wasn't a mandate.
Yeah. So,
well, that's
I'm I guess more glad that it was an ask and not a mandate, and that it didn't have the same kind of feel as them forcing in something as much as they have in the past, but they didn't quite find the balance that I would say Wonder Man found previ earlier this year, where it just felt like its own story.
yeah,
There were characters that came in from previous Marvel projects, Ben Kingsley, of course, but it was its own miniseries. Unfortunately, it got obviously got canceled just a few days ago.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably where they've excelled the most in recent projects. It's just having it be its own story, its own sort of not closed universe, but as close to a closed universe as possible for the MCU.
Well, I think
Yeah,
something like
this one felt the most lived in that we've seen in a long time. Every movie that we've had lately, I mean, Captain America Brave New World had a lot of just extra stuff thrown into it. And I think that was a lot of studio mandate. I'm saying purely speculatively, but with the way that that movie turned out, it can't have been what they wanted out of it. And the way it was the first two acts were edited was just atrocious. Anyway, I
Yes.
digress. This movie feels like such a lived-in universe. You've got Frank Castle, you've got Bruce Banner, you've got Yelena, you've got Jean Grey,
Hot potatoes.
all of these Marvel characters in the world. And yes, Tom Holland's Peter Parker has had the Tony Stark, the Nick Fury and Maria Hill, the Doctor Strange. Like he had the other characters in his films, perhaps more than any other character has had Marvel characters in their films, other than like the characters in their own stories. Like I'm not talking
yeah,
about Ned and MJ, but like
Yeah, I agree.
when it's a Thor movie, it's Thor and his supporting characters. When it's an Iron Man movie, it's Iron Man and his supporting characters. Ant-Man and the Wasp and their supporting characters. Peter Parker has always had in these four movies other big name Marvel characters with him. And this movie does that, but not to the point of relying on those other characters to advance the story, right? The Vulture hated Tony Stark. Mysterio hated Tony Stark. And that was the impetus for them to get involved in a Peter Parker story, a Spider-Man story. No Way Home, I love No Way Home. It's still one of the best theatrical experiences I've ever had opening night. It's its own beast. I'm not even really thinking about it in this context.
they're kind of
But here,
cheating with their villains. They're taking the
well, and that's another issue, Ben, is are we ever going to see Tom Holland's Peter Parker get his own Green Goblin, his own Doc Ock, his own
Yeah,
Sandman,
Spider-Man
Electro,
stinks.
and
Lizard?
I think this is a problem, right? Like I enjoy the movies, but look, we're not really at the Spider-Man movie yet. We keep
And
stringing along, and this is
that's
the
the
fourth
timeline of this
movie.
though. Like we didn't get the origin story that we maybe saw with
Yeah,
Tobey Maguire or with Andrew Garfield, where
which
he
is
gets the
fine.
spider bite and figures out the powers. There's a little bit of that here when he gets the organic webbing and the spider hormone increases in him.
Yeah,
We see him sort of become not quite man spider from the comics, but they adapt a little bit of that here. And certainly more of a Peter Parker to Spider-Man physical transformation than we've seen in any of the previous movies. But the first two movies in this series, Homecoming and Far From Home, uh, are really just Peter Parker in the world of the MCU, Spider-Man in the world of the MCU, and they feel like superhero movies, like you said earlier, Ben, very formulaic, not quite Spider-Man movies. No Way Home is your bridge into that, right? It kills off Aunt May. It removes Ned and MJ largely from Peter Parker's life. It sets up Peter to be on his own, fighting crime at a street level in New York City as Spider-Man. And this is really the first time that we're getting this Spider-Man, this Peter Parker in a Spider-Man story. And yeah, Jean Grey is the villain, even though Damage Control is the villain here. And I'm sick of the online discourse already saying that Jean is the villain because she's just misunderstood.
I
But
mean
we'll get into that in the Mutant Saga.
kind of
Um,
involved. It's just she
but
may be
what we,
endangering lots of lives.
it's still like he's not fighting one of his classic rogues,
No, but that's the
but it's
thing is like,
still a Spider-Man movie more so than the previous three.
yeah,
Again,
yeah.
No Way Home is such a unique beast in his canon where you can't even really call it anything other than an MCU multiverse movie.
And
It
Yeah,
might
and
have
I think that
Spider-Man on
none
the
of those
but
branding.
villains are
that was where it all came. That's where all the criticism came to a head, right? Is that we it took and Feige said it as much that they took three movies to basically get through one of the Raimi through Spider-Man 1, basically. And that's the arc that we get. And like technically,
Or
yeah, sure, four.
because I
Yeah,
mean, this
because
is the thing
it
that I
does
was thinking
continue.
about.
It does. But we get a different tone here, and that's kind of the shift that we've wanted to see.
Yeah.
But I think what we're saying here is that go a little like go those extra like go the extra mile to really hammer home sort of the conclusion of these first four films, and then you can go do whatever you want for five and six. Because we all, I mean, it's made $1 billion in a weekend. It's
Yeah.
we're getting more movies.
Yeah. But I don't know why you can't just do a normal Spider-Man movie. It's about as complicated as, I don't know, doing a Blade movie.
No, that's impossible.
I mean, it just seems like they're trying to reinvent the wheel into like a wheel with tricycles on, attached to it. Like, what are you doing?
And
And still,
you're
and
doing it
you're,
with Spider-Man, right? Like, and I think some of the criticism that Superman last summer got was that it didn't that, there I saw some people were saying that it didn't feel like a Superman movie because there were so many outside characters. And, I think that I don't think that's unfounded that, you would want a not an origin story, but you'd want something where it feels like it's focused more on the the hero that the movie is named after. And yet, what we get here is something that doesn't quite push the envelope enough, I think. It is a good movie. And I do think it is the best Holland film, but Holland Spider-Man film, but it just, they could do more, and it feels like Marvel is continuing to be afraid to just let their characters be characters
I mean,
sometimes.
they've taken out some of his like greatest characters, like Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and then his son. Like, I get that you have Ned and MJ, and you've made these new characters, but I feel like not having Harry Osborn as like a friend slash enemy is it was a big no-no. That's like it's a very important part of him. Um, and the other thing is it just took a long time to even get to this point, and we're still like not really here. It took three movies for them to kill off Aunt May, which, obviously that typically happens in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. Or Uncle Ben. I mean, this is their substitute.
Imagine they killed her off in Civil War off screen or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
Like when Tony Stark first goes to the apartment in Queens, the Jericho missile comes back from Iron Man 1. Tony and Peter are the only survivors. And
yeah,
Mr. Delmar.
I just like, I think continuing to add on these things, I wanted them to get away from Iron Man, all this stuff. And you know what? The Punisher's fine. He's a New York guy and he's low level. I think that's fair. But the point that he said about like this is above your pay grade and we're fighting the Hulk and stuff, yeah, it's kind of fun.
Oh shit!
But like, yeah, it is above. It's above both of their pay grades. He's not like Spider-Man is typically not the guy to do all that. So I don't know. Is ever all the other heroes just like asleep? It's like, oh, Hulk's rampaging
Got
through
the
New York.
Hulk rampage.
I'm
The
gonna
last
let
time the Hulk
Ben,
Spider-Man. I
Ben,
don't even know who this
Ben,
guy is.
Ben, Ben, Ben,
The
Ben, Ben,
last time
Ben.
we got the Hulk rampaging in New York, he was
Ed
in his
Norton,
yeah, it was Ed Norton, and they shut down what, Brooklyn,
Harlem.
Harlem, yeah.
Um, Ben, you got to remember that everything that happens in this movie is small potatoes.
Hmm. Yeah,
True.
If you want the other heroes, that's New Avengers, that's big potato stuff.
sorry, it's just such a
Should
stupid.
I have done this episode in a bathhouse office?
No.
Uh, Look, again, these are
Let me
criticisms. I
know in the
still like the
comments below
movie.
if I should have done this episode or if you want me to do next week's episode in a bathhouse office. Because I will.
And this does happen sometimes in the comics. It's like Spider-Man's like, hey, this is a big deal. And then, the Avengers are like, hey, kid, we got bigger things to worry about. But
It's
still,
so clearly setting up Yelena trying to recruit him in either Doomsday or Secret Wars,
I
and it's
just
not going to work.
can we just have like one movie, one Marvel movie? They used to have just little teasers here and there. It's like, oh, look at this. It's an Infinity Stone. You guys know what those are? You have to spend a post-credit scene on it. Now we don't even get post-credit scenes. We just get a spider tracker. And
All
then
right, but let's talk about the credit scene since you brought it up. And yet, Spidey Tracker, it's silly. We get it. There's the whole joke with Frank Castle having eyes everywhere, and he's using the Spidey Tracker. That's a second Spider-Man showing up in space because the one on Earth doesn't move. The one in New York does not move.
George, I understand this. I just think it's a stupid post-credit scene.
I just want to know if it's Toby or Andrew.
Who cares? They're both gonna show up.
It's Miguel O'Hara from Across the
If
Spider-Verse.
they, I swear to God, if they
It's
bring in
Nicolas
Oscar
Cage.
Isaac in live action and he's not playing Mark Spector or Stephen Grant or hell, even Jake fucking Lockley, then
No,
what's
don't
the
bring him
point?
in at all at this point.
Then
Don't
what's
don't
the
even
fucking
don't
point?
do it. Don't do it at all.
I just don't know. But I feel like you have all these, you have everything that makes Spider-Man work, and it still makes this movie work. But you could have an actual great Spider-Man movie, not just like, a Marvel
They
movie.
do. This is a great Spider-Man movie.
I don't
This
know
is
that it's
this
got
is up
there
there
yet.
with the best.
No, but it doesn't have the quintessential villain. It does not have anything to like deal with on that side. It's a very simple story, and Peter Parker is sort of tormented, but it's really not that bad. It's got it pretty easy in this movie.
Not that bad. He almost fucking drops from the sky without swinging a web.
He almost dies in
Oh,
every time we see
well,
him.
oh my God, Spider-Man 2, the guy literally tried to go web go, and then he just fell. All right? At least this Peter Parker caught himself and then fell down. But no, this is pretty easy for Peter Parker. Mentally, this is a pretty light load. I mean, Peter Parker is typically one of the most tortured people in comics, so having to rediscover your friends is pretty easy. Um,
I mean, for this
Well,
Peter, I will push back on that a bit. Is that, I don't disagree. Like they could maybe sure, yes, you can
well,
always
no,
do
he's
more.
it's
But
a bad situation for him
yeah,
compared to other Peter Parkers.
yeah.
I mean, this is so easy. It's all like Andrew Garfield's like, oh, yeah, I
hey,
could
he
go
doesn't
out
have
my
time
life
for
and just
Peter
broke her
Parker
neck.
stuff.
This,
What?
In No Way Home, Andrew Garfield's Peter says, sorry, Peter 3 says he doesn't have time for Peter Parker stuff.
yeah,
Mm.
so dark, so brooding. Um, yeah. I don't know. There's just a lot of choices I feel like that you could have done a little bit more. I'm glad to see that New York finally has embraced Spider-Man, and every movie is not just, oh, who is this weird guy? Or, oh, we don't like Spider-Man. I feel like we never got a movie until this one where it's like New York is behind Spider-Man.
So
We
are
haven't.
you, Ben, in looking for a more traditional Spider-Man story? You talked about the villain, or the lack thereof here. Are you looking for like a working at the Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson, like that type of like Uncle Ben dying, that kind of.
Well, I don't really care about those aspects, but I feel like he needs to actually have. They already kind of took his character off base because I think quintessentially he needs to be a kid from Queens. Not this high tech, nobody knows who he is. Like,
It
nobody
was
knows.
10 years ago when Civil War came out.
I know, but that was a mistake, I think, in my opinion. They got him, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna throw him in there," and he's fun, but they fundamentally did affect his character, which is he's already been thrown in all this stuff. He doesn't have the typical Spider-Man like learning curve. He gets a high-tech suit in like the first movie, right?
Well, that's a big part of what this movie is him figuring out, like we see in the montage at the beginning of the film, him figuring out being on his own.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. It's like it took a lot of movies to get here, and we still haven't like decided to embrace that and just cast an actual villain from the because like what's the villain here? The government? All right, whatever. Okay.
So if Paul
Oh wow.
Giamatti's Rhino had rushed in the third act of this movie,
No, but
No.
if they had taken Tombstone out of the montage at the beginning and done something with that, I think we'd be in a different spot. Or even Scorpion, you know? Like we could have just had Scorpion. Why
Yeah.
not?
I feel like Scorpion will continue to be a factor. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like we
Yeah,
haven't
but
seen the
why
last of Scorpion
but
as
it's been three movies and we've seen him twice for like 25 minutes between the two movies at most. Like that I think that's the thing
I
is
think they screwed up by
we should get one of those sort of classic Spider-Man
this
villains.
is one of the cases where they keep screwing up and then trying to cover up that, but they screwed up with No Way Home. They introduced so many classic villains, and they're not his. You can't just like do the next movie and be like, "Oh, remember this guy? You get your own version of him." That's a little lame too.
okay, yes, that would be very lame, but that's also completely something they would do.
It is something they went to.
Like I half expected, and I might have said this maybe on the No Way Home episode almost 5 years ago when I wasn't just going through the entire plot of the movie in an episode that took an hour and 20 minutes because I can't control myself, or at least I couldn't control myself 5 years ago. Anyway, I think I might have even suggested this, or I definitely had the thought that with Peter on his own going into this movie. Oh yeah, Ben, pull that up. Pull up the episode from 5 years ago and find somewhere in the hour and 20 minutes where I said this. Um, I think I thought that Peter was going to meet his own Harry Osborn in this movie. Like we would get into the Harry and Norman and Green Goblin and that whole like Oscorp, that side of, well, that hasn't been shown yet, but kind of Peter Parker world, Spider-Man world, because he was on his own and he had to kind of start fresh. Obviously, Ned and MJ are still factors here. He's still connected to his old life. Um, but I still think there's an opportunity to bring in an Earth 616 Norman Osborn or Otto Octavius or any of the others and do away with the lameness in a line saying, haven't I already fought you? Or I remember you from that other universe. He was a lot cooler or whatever.
I mean,
There's a
we
way
think,
to do it where you can use those villains again
They
in
should
the
make Ned go
MCU.
crazy.
but are they gonna do that, or are they gonna make Ned Hobgoblin? He's gonna kill
If they were going to
MJ,
do
and
that, they
then,
wouldn't have done the scene at the end of the movie.
but why not? That would make it even more heartbreaking in their
Yes, it
logic.
would, but it would have happened in this movie.
No, it wouldn't have. Why
No,
would they
it
do it in
takes
this
them
movie?
5 years to do anything with Spider-Man.
They don't do anything fast.
This guy is like
Like
21 in the movie, and
they're gonna
Holland's like
set like
35.
Spider-Man, like the way that they're moving right now, Ned is gonna maybe get hinted at being Hobgoblin in five. He'll get his powers near the middle of six, and then it's gonna end with him like throwing a pumpkin bomb, and then it's gonna cut to black, and then we're gonna have to wait for 6 more years to get seven, and no one's gonna want it. I mean,
I
we
think with the
are, but
response to this movie, and maybe it's me being optimistic, I think I hate that these phrases are coming out of my mouth right now, but I think we get Spider-Man 5 in the first part of phase 7 of the MCU in
What
2029.
have we done? This is like Oppenheimer. Like, did I burn the world? Did Kevin Feige break?
Because 2028, like Secret Wars ends phase 6 in the multiverse saga in 2027. Theoretically, it's definitely going to get delayed because they haven't started shooting yet. Um, we're going to get on the schedule right now, we're getting X-Men, Ghost Rider, and Black Panther 3 in 2028. Summer 2029, July 2029, we're gonna get another Spider-Man movie. They're not with Destin Daniel Cretton in charge of this character now, and Tom Holland basically owning Sony. It's not going to be another
But
5, 6 years before we get.
the
This
lack
isn't
of
Matt Reeves as the
owning
Batman.
Sony.
No, but it's the story beat, it's the story and plot lines that take them forever to get through. I mean, we just talked about how it took them 3.5, 4 movies to get to where we are now. What makes you think that we're gonna get
We're
any
like
kind of
halfway
I mean,
there.
look, maybe something shifts, right? I know that they're canceling all their shows, and I think that means that they're putting all their eggs back into the movie basket, and that sucks that we're not getting good high quality shows too, but maybe that means the output for movies and the product is like maybe that means that we get something better, right? Maybe that means that there's less on Feige's plate and that we don't have to worry about him getting overwhelmed or overworked or whatever it was in 2021 and 2023 when everything just went to shit. But at the same time, we shouldn't have to wait. We shouldn't have to be having these conversations.
No, we can't.
Spider-Man is a pretty easy character to put on the screen. Like it's not rocket science. Like if you want to make it hard for yourself, start with Iron Man in 2008. Sure, do that. And look at where we are
One of the
now.
only characters they had the rights to.
But I
And
think
look at what they did with it.
I think that's one of its strongest things, which is what Marvel's fallen apart because of, which is that they cannot help but use everything that they bought over the years. And you don't need to.
They
Sometimes
want
you
to show off their
need to.
toys, and I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. That's fun.
But
But
when every movie is a team-up movie with random people, nothing's special. None
Considering
of
this
this
movie
matters anymore.
is a Sony property, Spider-Man, that featured a Universal character, Hulk, a Netflix character, Punisher, and a Fox character, Jean Grey.
look, and we almost got
That's all their
the
toys.
we almost got the Venom universe movie for this. Like imagine the conversation we'd be having if we got that instead of what we have. I'm
Yeah.
thankful for sure. But I mean that the fact that that was even on the table is concerning.
But
Oh,
like,
the multiverse story with the symbiote suit and
Yes.
the three Peters coming together again.
Yes. Ugh.
is this why? I mean, I feel like that's also probably why it's so hard to make a just good Spider-Man movie because it's the dual owners here, essentially. They can use Spider-Man, but they don't own any of this stuff. And so they're actually using the stuff that they own,
And it sucks
primarily.
because Marvel's never getting sole ownership back. I mean,
Like, Sony just needs to sell it. What do you do? I mean, I know you're making money begrudgingly by giving it away to somebody. But what are
Lending
you doing
lending
making
Spider-Man, sharing Spider-Man with Marvel.
what were they doing making these random films like Venom? What
look,
was
They
that?
made three Venom movies and
and then a
Morbius,
Morbius
and then a
and
slew,
Madam
Satan,
Web
basically two
and
Madam Web.
spin-offs.
I mean, it's that's insane.
And you know what? We reviewed, I think, every single one of
every
those films.
single one of them.
So,
I saw Madam Web in theaters twice in a week.
Yeah,
yep,
that was your fault.
No, that was
yep,
Chip's fault.
No, but you could have said no.
yeah, but
You
it was
guys,
kind of
you guys
funny.
were all going to see Madam Web together on a Saturday night. I
It
wasn't going to
was
miss
kind of
that.
funny. It was
Yep.
funny.
I mean, I was plastered for that second
It
screening.
was funny.
So anyway, back to Brand New Day. What do you guys think about, and I know we've talked about the inclusion of the character, but Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. What do you think of this version of the character in the first time that we see her?
It was pretty good. I
Yeah,
mean, there
the,
isn't like much to distinguish her. I mean, yes, we can see the extent of her powers, but there wasn't really much of Jean. It was really like Jean's powers, and Sadie Sink was kind of the vessel for them to show us her powers, it felt like.
yeah. So I mean, we haven't really gotten to like explore the character at all. She's just sort of she
Ben, are
was
you
there.
excited for another adaptation of the Phoenix Force?
No, no, I am not.
They're gonna speed run it too.
Let's see
Just
if
like
they
they do
can.
every single time when the universes start to collapse. When they think that they're not going to make any more money, they're going to speedrun Phoenix Force and shove it into two movies, maybe one movie.
Let's see if they can get Apocalypse first, and then we'll see.
They're going to bring Oscar Isaac back for that too.
No, he has to play Mark Spector
He's
or
playing
Stephen
all he's
Grant
playing all
or Jake
six
Lockley.
he's
Just
playing all
playing
six
everyone.
comic book characters. Miguel O'Hara, he's playing all three of the personalities for Moon Knight, and then he's going to play Apocalypse. So he's going to play five different characters in
And
one.
Poe Dameron.
Oh, sure, why not?
How about Llewyn Davis too? Just bring back all of his previous roles.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I thought Sadie Sink was very good. Really, because I haven't seen Stranger Things. My only experience with her was the supporting role she had in The Whale, which was just to. I mean, she was very very good in the film, but it was really just a character to create another level of dimensionality for Brendan Fraser's character. Um, but she was very very good in that film. This film, I feel like she understood the assignment. Obviously, she's not the main character of the film, despite what the third act would have you believe. She's very much, she being Sadie Sink, is very much understanding of what acting in a Marvel film is. Obviously, I'm sure it's 9 years on Stranger Things or however long it took to do 5 seasons of that show probably prepared her for big franchise stuff. But I don't know, despite being much younger in her first appearance than, say, Sophie Turner or Famke Janssen, it's refreshing to see her take on the character, knowing how significant of this Omega level mutant um, is in the comics.
Yeah, we had some insanely powered characters in this movie. I mean, you had Peter
And I
getting his
love that they
organic
don't
webbing, and then Hulk at his strongest, I think, since that we've
seeing
ever seen.
Ruffalo Hulk out again was really fun.
Yeah, they made him big.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could get that big.
He's supposed to be that big.
he was scared. He was like kind of scary for the first time.
Yeah.
For the first time, or for the first time since Wanda controlled his brain in Age of Ultron?
I think for the first time since I
First
saw
time.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, I don't
Seeing
think
him do
he wasn't that
the
scary.
thunderclap was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess anyway, he just looked big. He was bigger in the Edward Norton movie. Then they made him smaller.
He was huge in the Ed Norton movie.
Yeah.
By the time we got to like She-Hulk, he was barely bigger than Ruffalo is himself.
It's just like, oh. Whoa, Hulk's so big.
And I've seen the clips of the like the auto tune or whatever on his voice in previous projects and how bad his voice was.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The multiverse broke because he needed to take the stairs. Just remember that.
It did.
I mean, if they made him properly large and comic book accurate, he couldn't have taken the stairs. He would have been too big.
Are you talking like Eric Bana size?
I'm talking comic book size.
I don't know. If you've seen Ang Lee's Hulk, which is such a fucking waste of time. God, that movie's terrible. That's worse than the Ed Norton movie. Um,
Some
it
people like it.
he gets so big in that movie.
That's Ben's favorite Marvel
Let's
movie.
see
What are you
here.
talking about?
Yeah, I think this is too large. I
I
forgot how
thought
big.
Ben's favorite Marvel movie was the Ben Affleck Daredevil
It's true.
or the
Maybe
Jennifer Garner Elektra.
maybe Ghost Rider.
Spirit of Vengeance, though, not the first,
Yeah,
not the
Spirit of
first. Yeah.
Vengeance. The first one's
X-Men: The
classic.
Last Stand.
That one is just
We
I
haven't done a
can't
draft in a while. Let's do a shitty Marvel movies draft.
Oh
even
God.
joke about that one. Oh, I did think
Dark Phoenix, one overall.
just getting back to Brand New Day, small criticism, but they don't have to turn everybody into a scientific genius. I know we've taken away Norman Osborn and his father or his son, but I didn't really like Ned. Okay, whatever. We've seen him do a bunch of that stuff. MJ, I don't remember being a like super. I mean, she's smart, but
She
She
majored
literally
in
looks.
aerospace engineering
They're all
in the four
smart,
years that
right?
we
They
didn't
they
see.
went to the like smart science school, so they were all smart. She went to MIT,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I know,
you know,
but she sat down at a computer and she was just like, "Oh, you're messing with mRNA, genes." I'm like, "No, I don't care if you go to MIT. You can't just sit down at a computer and be like, oh, yes, of course, this is what you're working on." That was a little too much for me.
And now, thanks to Peter Parker and MJ's work, we now have the universal power inhibitor that will definitely be used on a lot of mutants
Yeah, that was smart, Peter.
in the next phase of the franchise.
But I think that was kind of the thing is like in the comics, I mean, Peter should be really, really smart, not like MIT smart, like Bruce Banner, you know, that level. Because the stuff he's working on is supposed to be revolutionary and groundbreaking and something not even Banner worked on. So I took me out of it for a second. Small criticism, but again, probably a little too much. Maybe just put Harry Osborn on there, and it would make sense because his dad is a genius and he's a genius.
Ben, who would you cast as Harry Osborn?
Oof, man, that's a good
And
question.
why is it Timothy Chalamet?
I don't think he could pull off the cornrows. I'm looking for a real comic book
I mean,
actor, white guy
just
with
bring Coleman
cornrows.
Domingo over from the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, have him play Norman, and then cast someone as his son.
No, I'm looking for real
I like
cultural
that.
appropriation here,
I
Mac.
like that a lot.
What?
I'm looking for real cultural appropriation here.
Um,
Are you familiar with their look in the comics?
I
Yeah.
am.
It's it's
I
unbelievable.
am.
I mean, I don't know how you come up with that look. It's crazy.
I saw someone edited Willem Dafoe and James Franco to
I
have the
saw that
cornrow.
too.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just probably a good thing that Raimi didn't go through with it. Neither did
Good decision.
Mark Webb. But now's the chance if Marvel wants to be really brave.
White guys with cornrows.
White guys with cool. Um, honestly, I
Let's
don't
cast,
know.
here we go. Let's cast Dave Franco as Harry Osborn this time.
Here we go. No one will ever see this coming.
Or does Dane DeHaan have a brother?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, Dane DeHaan.
You know what? Let's cast Harry Styles.
No, no, no. He's already in the MCU, probably.
Oh, well, actually, no, we can't. No, but
The Eternals will return. When?
no, they're never coming back.
Are the Eternals safe?
Why?
Are they all right?
You're
Why?
not.
Why would they
You're not
return?
eternal. No, we've got the externals at X-Men 97 though.
Yeah, but they haven't been in a major motion picture presented as part of the future of the MCU 5 years ago.
This is true. They were the future of the X-Men universe because Apocalypse is an external.
Where are the Eternals?
I think they're just like in prison,
Yeah,
box office
I
prison.
think Arishem took them.
No,
Yeah,
He took
Arishem
a
took
bunch of
like
them.
three of them. There were
He took a
10.
bunch of them. Yeah.
he was just plucking them out. He's like, all right, you didn't do well in the box office. You didn't do well. All right,
Didn't Kumail
goodbye.
Nanjiani say that he, like,
Salary too
one,
big.
he got super shredded to play his character,
Yeah.
Kingo,
Again.
right?
Yep.
And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
and then, didn't he also say like he signed a 6 movie deal or something, or a 6 project deal?
They probably thought, oh, we got Eternals. We're gonna put them in the
And
Avengers.
then he did voice
Play
work for
us who
one
these
episode of
are.
What If.
Does that count?
He is in a long.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's at
I'm
two.
sure I'm sure Simu Liu and Oscar Isaac counted their appearance in one episode of, or Simu Liu's case, 2 episodes of What If.
Oh, he's Simu's not counting them himself. They might count for his contract, but he's not
Right.
counting them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But also like where is Shang-Chi? You know, like where are all these
I
characters?
want to know
Where is
why
everyone?
Half the
Why
time.
Sam Wilson has not been recruiting these characters
Sam
throughout phases
Wilson's
4 and 5.
Avengers. Sam.
Again,
There's three of them.
this is part
It's
of my
literally it's
criticism for this
Sam,
movie.
Joaquin, and Scott Lang. Those are the Avengers right now.
If you have, and I know Florence Pugh, Little Potato, but this is not Little Potato, all right? This is not like, oh, a robbery in New York. No, we have a strong telepath who's breaking into the Department of
Yeah,
Damage Control, which
but
happens.
also, like, what is she gonna do? Are they gonna try the power of friendship again, like they did
Yeah.
in Thunderbolts, where it
But
worked and they made it work, but like that wouldn't work here.
it's more the fact that there are so many heroes around, just like around, but doing nothing apparently. If
Yeah,
something is big enough, it makes sense that other people show up. If something small, it's just New York. Didn't it make sense that Spider-Man could take it all by himself?
they
Did
were
you want Spider-Man to
destroying
show up
Roosevelt
when
Island.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Wait,
Did you
what?
want Spider-Man to show up when the Thunderbolts were dealing with the Void?
No. Why would I mean
He was in New York.
what is he even gonna do versus that? It happened in like 2 seconds. All of a sudden there was just like a dark cloud over Manhattan and then it was not.
It was like a
You're
20-minute fight
saying
scene at
if
Damage
there's
Control.
a big potatoes thing, why
Yeah,
aren't
but
all the
this is
heroes
him.
there? Where's
He wouldn't
fucking
even
Daredevil?
know. Like, well, yeah, that's another question. I don't know. Oh wait, no, he left, right? He left the city.
No,
Mm,
he's
oh,
in
he's in
prison.
prison. Was he in the
Oh
same
yeah, he's in
prison
prison.
that
Yeah.
Dean
I
was
don't
in?
know.
Dean
I don't
Damage Control? No,
I have no idea.
I don't
Gene
know.
was in a damage control facility, not a prison.
That's true.
They have a
Pretty sure Matt Murdock's in Rikers.
Okay.
they do
Yeah, that would
like
make sense. That makes sense for him.
in my opinion though, New York has a lot going on,
Vanessa.
but they don't have a good balance. They're doing a lot of stuff in New York, and aside from the Battle of New York, they didn't really like they like to mention lots of stuff. Lawrence Pugh's in here, but where's a poster of like Kingpin or something? It was a huge deal for New York. I
I don't know.
thought
The timeline is all out
the
of
timeline
whack
is
I don't know what's going on.
so confusing.
I
because
think this was
this is supposed to
2028.
be
What
because
is that? I
May
don't know
dies
what
in
that
20
is.
May dies in 2024,
Okay.
and this
It's
movie
been
takes
4
place
years.
4 years later.
What is Kingpin elected mayor? Does anyone
I
know?
think he was elected in
Well,
2026.
when does Thunderbolts take place?
I
Because
don't
I don't
know.
even
Doomsday
know.
is 14 months after Thunderbolts.
I don't
Nothing
know.
makes
But
sense.
look, we've had these problems with
It's true.
the timeline and everything
The
before.
timeline's better less. It's more of
Who
a
it,
problem.
it's a Marvel. It's like it's like it's I don't know. It's like their little thing. They just don't make their timelines make sense, but then everything comes out in a way that sort of helps you put all the pieces together, and we ignore that for the most part.
Yeah, again, I just would have liked a little bit more from the Spider-Man part. Get graffiti on the walls, have some like I mean, I guess they do have some Spider-Man graffiti and stuff, but maybe like a I hate Kingpin, things like that. I don't know. Maybe something more creative, but it should be apparent if it happened in the same universe because they're putting in like, other villains and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah,
So, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's a good movie.
it
Yeah.
is.
These are criticisms for the overall
Plan.
plan production. It still works as a movie, but we're not quite to the Spider-Man movie that I had hoped for after like the first one.
We're getting
But
there. It's
I
just going to take 8
We'll,
movies.
we'll get
I
there.
can see a path forward in a way that I hadn't seen one after the first three.
And that's on Tom Holland and Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like they really overhauled it after some test screenings and
Yeah.
everything. That they honestly kind of they saved it.
So, Brand New Day is currently playing in movie theaters. Go check it out. I've already seen it twice. Next week, we are going to be watching The Sex Purge, the movie about one night a year when premarital sex is allowed. Of course, we're talking about One Night Only. Little Callum Turner, Monica Barbaro action. We will see you for one night only next week. In the meantime, watch some good movies, ban AI and filmmaking, and support local movie theaters. We will see. Where's the stop recording button? There it is. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Good night.
Right.